We're doing it live. Okay. G'day, folks. ZiggyD here. I've had a dream for quite some time that I really wanted to build a dedicated streaming studio to get like sick audio quality, separate my like work and life a little bit, you know, move it outside of the living area, up the quality of that, mute some of the dog barks that are very constant on my stream if you've watched my live stream. But doing something big like that takes taking on doing some big things in your life, I think, to try and make something like that happen. I've just been cruising for a while. You know, it's been good. I've been having fun, just kind of like jumping on, streaming some games, making a video occasionally when I feel like it. But not really doing anything big or anything particularly exciting. So I decided that for this league, I was going to do a Mirrorthon. I am not going to stop streaming until I get a Mirror of Kalandra, which is usually somewhere between 100 to 200, 250-ish exalts within the first few weeks of a league. So that's way bigger than any goal I've ever set myself in Path of Exile and on streaming. So I'm going to be streaming 24/7. I'll obviously be sleeping. I keep getting that question, but obviously I'm going to sleep. I'll just run highlights and stuff during it. But it is the, well, end of day one. I'm going to play more tonight, but it's the kind of like official end of day one, I guess, because we finished the leveling process. Not very quickly. You'll notice up in the top left here is my net worth and a timer. We have been going for 14 hours and 50 minutes with like some breaks for dinner and stuff like that. I just had a shower. Feels good, man. Feels good. So very casual leveling pace. I've been playing with my partner, Amy. So we've just been co-op leveling it, goofing off. We spent multiple hours just like making no progress, messing around with excavations, doing random stream challenges with chat, that sort of things. It's been very fun, but not super efficient, fast leveling, especially if you compare to like other races or other streamers. But yeah, we probably cracked up and got to maps in like 14 hours, so not exactly super fast. And we've made a whopping total of 68 chaos during the leveling process. That's not that unusual to make like something like that. That's just the currency tab. I'm using Excellence next, which is, you may have seen in some of my previous videos or on stream before, is a currency tracking app. So this is the currency that I have so far. We've got 24 actual chaos, and then just like a mixture of other stuff like alts and stuff we just picked up along the way. A good chunk of that has actually come from Expedition, especially the guy where you haggle for currency. I've got a fair bit of raw currency off him. I've only sold like 6 or 7 chaos worth of items, a few 2C items here and there, maybe like 1 3C item, so nothing big. Haven't had really any big drops. My best drop was literally the Quill Rain that I'm using on my character, so nothing too fancy there. Someone did the math earlier in chat, and at my current rate of chaos per hour, which is now -1, but earlier it would take me 91 days to earn a mirror. That's it's gonna get better. I hope. Alright, but we're gonna have to like try and pull like 10 exalts a day and stuff like that. But why should you be excited? Well, I'm gonna be streaming non-stop, so you can stop by the stream anytime you want and see me doing this, because I will quite likely, unless I'm literally asleep, be here playing Path of Exile. But also I'm gonna test a whole bunch of different currency making methods, the expedition content, various different endgame farming methods, both in maps, out of maps, bossing, yada yada. I'm gonna I've been making plans. Where are my plans? Somewhere. It's a mess. It's a mess in here. I've been making plans. This is the typical exalt prices. We've got like various activities and strategies that I'm plotting out. We'll record like how profitable these things are, what my net worth is as we go over time, as we push towards that like roughly 200 exalt goal to try and earn and get that Mirror of Kalandra so that I can go to sleep. Yuppers. So that's gonna be quite a thing. It's going to be quite a thing, but it should be lots of fun and interesting content, and just like exploring lots of different facets of the game that I haven't really like dived into before. I was originally planning on playing Burning Arrow because of the smoothness of clear, because I've been playing so much. The Burning Arrow proliferation chaining with the Berex ring is really good, but you may have noticed that this is the Nerf League, and Burning Arrow's damage went down by like 80%. It's still actually good, despite that, because it went from like 30 million to like 2 million DPS. I was like, oh, yeah, that's still actually pretty good from one Burning Arrow. It stacks as well. So it's actually still pretty good, but it takes a lot more gear to get going, and I was a bit iffy. I looked at Poison Scourge Arrow, and I just like looked at some random builds on the forum at the moment. I don't have a build share just yet, but looked at some random builds on the forum, and its DPS only went down by about like 4%, and it was already really good. And that's because they buffed poison up by like 50%. Even though they nerfed some of the support gems and stuff like that. So poison kind of like escaped the nerfs effectively because of that counteracting buff. So poison stuff is potentially still really good, worth looking into. But poison, Scourge Arrow, Pathfinder gets like the proliferations and stuff here. Until we swap into that, because I kind of really want to get a... I've got the page up here. I'm keeping it on. They're like 1 Exalt. Where are they? I kind of want to get like a Dark Scorn, but they're a little expensive at the moment. Oh no, they're going down. They're going down. Yo, we could probably afford one very soon. Okay, I might swap to Poison soon. But I want to get a Dark Scorn first before I do that. So I've just been leveling Toxic Rain and Caustic Arrow, which is actually really solid. Even on a 1-link, Caustic Arrow, like literally no supports, was like one-shotting most packs quite comfortably. Just that. It's not like super fast, but it works just by itself. And then you can work in Toxic Rain at the same time and just kind of zip around. Yeah, if you haven't played the new league yet, Path of Exile is really hard now. They made mana costs really high. Everything's tougher. We do a lot less damage. It's really hard, but this still went pretty smoothly overall and is pretty comfortable leveling. Even in like multiplayer health and stuff like that, while goofing around with terrible gear and whatnot. I'm using a level 10 hat, just for the record. So Path of Exile is feeling pretty hard this league. So I haven't fully made up my mind about what I think about all of that. It's a mixed bag. It could end up being fun. It's tough. I've rather enjoyed myself today. Whether it will be fun long term, I really don't know yet. Act 1 was certainly revamped and pretty spicy. There's some very nice surprises that I won't spoil in Act 1. But some big surprises there that were super exciting. So I look forward to them doing more of that across the game. But as for Expedition itself, the regular encounters are kind of like, okay, I enjoy them. They're like mild. The actual logbook map things that Expedition gives you, those are looking really good. We've only done one so far, but it looked really cool. It's like a blighted map, but faster. Lots of like loot things you can potentially pop, lots of loot from it. Seems very rewarding, seems super fun. It's not super intense as a league mechanic goes, because there's no failure state. If you die in softcore, you just come back in and you don't lose anything. So overall, I'm thinking the league mechanic wise is trending to look pretty good. We'll come back to it over the next couple of days and see where I change my mind there. But first impressions are pretty solid. But here's an expedition I'll do right here anyway, so just to give like a few basic pointers and stuff like that. So typically what you do is you run into a detonator, you get a certain number of explosives that you can place. Starts at like 3, starts to go up a little bit. I'm at 4 now. And ideally what you want to do is target these remnants that put modifiers on, and then do something that makes sense with those modifiers. So over here we've got like increased quantity of artifacts dropped by monsters. So you'd want to hit that, and then you'd want to blow up a bunch of monsters. So you press like N to place an explosive. And these can only be done a certain distance from the detonator. So we might like put one there and then chain them outwards. But ideally these effects chain. So monsters grant 60% experience. Everything in this explosion, if I put one here, whoops. Nice. If I put one here, will give 60% experience. And then everything after that will give 60% experience. So you ideally want to order matters effectively. So this one's got excavated chests have a chance to contain additional rare jewelry. So if we were able to do that one first and then hit chests, which are these symbols here, and other various colored symbols, which means like better, higher quality chests. If we hit those, we would get rare jewelry in every one after that point. But if we hit that rare jewelry one last, rare jewelry would only be any chests that were popped in that actual explosion. Oh, default key is V, is it? Sorry, I must have rebound it to N. I think the league mechanic key is usually V. Anyway, this button down here and there's a hotkey for it. Just mouse over it. It tells you what it is. So ideally you want to try and chain things. This isn't a particularly good one, so I would maybe consider doing something just like popping this one here, trying to stack a few of these. They light up green when you've got them tagged, so I can get a few of those. Each of these skulls represents packs of monsters. These ones here are typically like rare or magic monsters, and those ones tend to drop more of the currency. So I might just pop a couple of these ones. It's pretty difficult to like get over to the other side. And then once you're happy with your placement, you can undo it if you want and replace it. You pop it and you get to kill the monsters. The chests drop artifacts, which are the currency. And that actually brings me to like my major criticism with this Expedition League. It is so unnecessary that these are all currency drops. That all the fragments, these artifacts are currency drops. It's so much extra picking up. They really could have just... There's literally an NPC here who could be picking them up for us and then giving us store credit. Like, he wants them. He wants them anyway. Why doesn't he just pick them up and give us store credit? Because the idea is once you're done and you've got, like, your artifacts and things like that. Like, yeah, they're dropping stacked at least, right? But you get, like, 3 or 4 or 5 stacks through a thing. And then there's actually... I'll show you this, ready? There's 5 different currencies for each one. There's so many extra different currencies, and some of them are big. They're filling up our inventory. Why don't they just pick them up and give us store credit? So that's like, it feels unnecessary to me. It's annoying. There's already too much clicking in both of Exile. I've got a click counter on screen here, down the bottom, by the way. That's how much I've clicked today. Left clicks only. So apart from that, the picking up these things, I've quite enjoyed the expedition stuff so far. But there's different NPCs, and one is like unidentified gambling, one is haggling. So usually like currency and stuff like that, you'll like offer something pretty low and then offer a little bit higher to try and get a good deal on that, like a good price on that. They each have their own specific currencies, and they demand specific currency types for different items in their stores. Rog does crafting. He's really cool, but you don't actually get reroll currency for him very often, it seems, and not while leveling. What he does is he'll show you an item, and then you take it, and then he'll offer you several crafts on it, and he just keeps going. Like, I tried one, and he crafted it like 8 times. So he'll make the item better and better and better, potentially, as you go. It's up to you to decide when you take the item or if you run out of currency. The thing about this guy is you probably just want to use him once and then not re-roll him until endgame, because the re-rolls don't seem all that common, and if you don't manually re-roll these guys using their special currency, which I have one of down here, they won't actually update. So this guy's still got item level 6 stuff from the first time I met him. So he's just going to stay like that until I re-roll him, and then he'll update to my current level or the current zone level. So I'm just going to leave Rog, this guy, the crafter guy, until like maps effectively, and then I'm going to start re-rolling him and trying to craft some stuff. Maybe even like a little bit later on potentially. But the gambling one is great to do while leveling, and the haggling guy is great to do while leveling. I could show you them in the hideout, because they give you stuff that's useful for like early currency. Like I said, I've probably picked up like 20 or 30 chaos off the haggling guy for the most part. You can put all of these in your hideout as well, so it's a bit easier to access them and talk to them. But Tujin here is the haggle one, so when you refresh him, he'll show you a new load of currency and other items like that. And then you can be like, okay, if you offer lower, it seems like you run the risk of him just taking the item away, but you also potentially get a better end price. So we'll offer like a little bit low. He'll say no. You'll say I'm being an ass. I'll offer him a little bit low, and then I'll be like, all right, pretty close to his offer. Oh, and then I'll just take his offer for 40 for 6 stack decks, which is pretty sweet. It's pretty cool. Like, I can't afford these Chaos Orbs. Yeah, no, I actually need more currency. I don't have enough. He'll reject that offer, so I'll wait on those Chaos Orbs. Now, again, this won't change until I re-roll it, so I can, if there's something in here, you're not going to miss it if you leave it. You can come back to it at any point, unless you re-roll. And then Gwenin is the gambling. Gwenin has mostly scammed me so far. She doesn't give me very good items. You get lots of re-rolls for her at least, though. But Gwenin just keeps scamming me. She just keeps giving me nothing. Even the bases are not very good. You got a fancy Varagalia? No. Can't afford the Sentinel jacket. What about an Iron Ring? Sweet, thanks. It's not always like this. A lot of my viewers have been like, yo, I got 3 uniques from one. I got a Tabula and a Gold Room from Gwen in the same window. So for some people, she's working. She hates me, apparently. Okay. Anyway, that's the rant. I'll do more content on more specific stuff. The next step is to get started on mapping. Got a whole plan, but the basic concept is to set up the Atlas so that we can do other things. So we want to try and efficiently level up my Atlas, unlock the Watchstones, unlock the Maven invitations, yada yada, all that stuff, so that we can start doing a whole wide range of different currency making things. Because I got to make more than -2 chaos per hour if I want to get a mirror. Yep. Alrighty, that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thank you for watching. Bye.